Welcome to round 3 of Rallycross Challenge Europe. We're in Vilkyčiai in Lithuania, in the west of the country. One of the prime locations for Rallycross in the Baltic region, and very popular with the local drivers. Just 900 meters, short and furious, 50-50 tarmac and gravel, and beautiful weather conditions as we get ready for the action here in Lithuania. Into the Super Touring Car Minus, and as ever, Roman Kasteral from the Czech Republic in the Opel Astra will be the man to beat. He, Ivo van den Brandt in the Mitsubishi, and Joel Strax in the Honda Civic all visited this track in Lithuania last year. Great Britain's Eric Wilkinson in the Opel Corsa, though, new to the circuit. Roman Kasteral fastest during the qualifying heats. Joel Strax had to replace an engine after a blow-up in Hungary. Eric Wilkinson learning the limits of adhesion, and Ivo van den Brandt in the Mitsubishi looking very quick, although Kasteral came out on top. It was van den Brandt who was second quickest after qualifying. Plenty of interest from the fans here in Lithuania as we get ready for the Super Touring Car Minus final. Roman Kasteral from the Czech Republic starting on pole position in the red, white and blue Astra, and alongside him will be the Mitsubishi Colt of Ivo van den Brandt. Joel Strax on the outside of the front row of the grid, and Eric Wilkinson on row 2 in his Opel. Revs rise and away we go. Good launch from Kasteral. Ivo van den Brandt right with him though. They're 3 wide down into the first corner. Wilkinson might do well to avoid that contact. Kasteral keeps his nose in front. Van den Brandt in second position on the freshly watered start straight. Onto the short tarmac run they go. Eric Wilkinson challenging Joel Strax. Roman Kasteral looking back at Ivo van den Brandt. And van den Brandt in that Mitsubishi Colt really throwing the machine around. With Joel Strax straight onto the Joker lap. Strax, new engine fitted after that blow-up in Hungary, really not performing as well as the team would have liked. He struggled a bit in practice. Second place for the Mitsubishi, third place for Eric Wilkinson, newcomer to the Rallycross Challenge Europe this season. Joel Strax will rejoin in fourth place. And Roman Kasteral with a lead, commanding lead already on lap 2 of 6, building his advantage over Ivo van den Brandt. Van den Brandt dives in for his Joker lap now. Van den Brandt and his team had dramas even getting to Lithuania. Team coach that carries the cars and the crew broke down. They only just made it to the circuit in time. Kasteral sounds like he might have a broken exhaust there on the Opel. Van den Brandt, despite the dramas getting to the circuit, back on in second place. Joel Strax in third though behind Eric Wilkinson. Now Roman Kasteral midway through this final takes his Joker lap and comes back out in front of Ivo van den Brandt. The Opel might sound horrible, but it's going well. Eric Wilkinson in fourth place as he takes the Joker lap. Still lots of loose on that Joker lap. Joel Strax in the Honda Civic had just squeezed by him for third position anyway. So Roman Kasteral, despite taking the Joker lap, still with the lead of the event. Frankly, a horrible sounding car. Ivo van den Brandt in second place. Joel Strax dropping away in third, really not finding the performance he wanted. It's a weekend to survive, I think, after the disaster of Hungary and rack up those points. Eric Wilkinson in fourth place. Despite the best efforts of Ivo van den Brandt, little Mitsubishi Colt not able to reel in the leader. Roman Kasteral, as ever, looking as one with his machine. The Opel Astra running very strongly indeed. Eric Wilkinson still trying to find the grip here. And on to the last lap. Can't come soon enough, I think, for the engine probably, and the exhaust in the Astra still seems to be producing the power and the speed. Sounds pretty nasty. Roman Kasteral doing his best to ignore it though. Ivo van den Brandt just about close enough to strike if drama befalls the Astra driver. And Eric Wilkinson pushing on. The early Joker lap didn't play out the way Ivo van den Brandt might have hoped. And as we get to the checkered flag, Eric Wilkinson is going to be lapped at the line by Roman Castoral, who claims victory here in Lithuania. Been a tough weekend, says Joel Strax. If the guys hadn't been here, I'd have gone back to Belgium on Saturday. All the hard work, we changed the engine and we had lots more problems. It looked like after we fixed every problem, there was yet another problem. But in the end, it all came together. Third place, well, we're happy to have finished. Happy too, our winner in Lithuania, Roman Castoral. It's an all-Belgian field in Super Touring Cars Plus here in Lithuania. Everybody visited the circuit in the challenge last year, although then Josh Sterkens here in his Volvo C30 was in Super Touring Cars Minus. Last time out in Hungary, Steve Holders in the Mark 1 Escort was the man to beat, and so it proves again through the qualifying heats. The man in the number 77 car is absolutely the fastest. They all get a good launch, but after they get to the end of the first straight, then Holders is gone. So it's all about the Volvos behind. In the black car 33, Philip van der Heijden, showing just how slippery conditions are in Lithuania. Herman van Tielen in his older Volvo 242 struggling to match the pace of the lead trio. And Josh Sterkens, a couple of mistakes during the qualifying heats, but showing plenty of speed nonetheless. Well, Steve Holders fastest of all, Philip van der Heijden second in his S40, and that is how they will line up for the finals, with Holders on pole, van der Heijden in the middle of the front row, and Josh Sterkens alongside, and Herman van Tielen in the older Volvo 242. He's going to have a grandstand seat right behind them. As you can see, after the heat of Hungary, it is damp and cool here in Lithuania. Lots of spectators on hand at the Vilkyčiai circuit to watch the start, and another great start for Holders on board with Josh Sterkens outside the front row, trying to close the Escort down. He gets up into second place ahead of Philip van der Heijden. And there, that onboard shot shows you exactly why efficient screen wash wipe systems are absolutely one of the most important things on a rallycross car. It's not always hot and dusty, even in Central Europe. Steve Holders with the lead, Josh Sterkens going with him. Philip van der Heijden in third place. And there is Herman van Tielen in the white Volvo 242. But out front, Steve Holders, Belgian Escort ace, with Josh Sterkens and the black car at Philip van der Heijden keeping pace with him at least early on. So with Holders in his customary position out front, when his rivals take their joker lap, could be decisive. There's absolutely no point in them doing what the leader is doing, otherwise he'll just continue to pull away. So using that joker lap might be a tactical choice that could pay off for them. Steve Holders at the moment though showing them a clean set of heels. Even in these slippery conditions, the Escort getting its power on the road superbly. So Holders building the lead with every second. Josh Sterkens in second. Philip van der Heijden third, locks up a little. Gravel tyres on the tarmac, which is still pretty dry. Herman van Tielen in fourth position, not going to be a factor here unless somebody has car problems. And at the moment, Steve Holders just keeping a decent lead, not overextending himself, taking any chances. Josh Sterkens has to push though. Philip van der Heijden in third position is starting to lose contact with the second place Volvo as well. Holders as smooth as ever. Man and machine in perfect harmony. Meanwhile, Josh Sterkens onto the joker lap. And that means that Philip van der Heijden has a shorter run round and he comes through in front. That will only be temporary perhaps, unless van der Heijden can find something special. Herman van Tielen in the 242, he too takes his joker lap. Afraid that's not going to help him close on the lead trio though. So Holders, as is his habit, building his advantage. He'll leave his joker lap right till the very end. And Josh Sterkens harassing Philip van der Heijden from behind. It's all about who finishes second now. Steve Folders takes his Joker lap. In fact, that's before Philip van der Heijden. Van Thielen in fourth position with the elderly 242. No dramas for Steve Folders. His Escort, of course, even older than that Volvo 242, a car that dates back to the mid-1960s, still winning nearly 50 years later. Philip van der Heijden in second place, third Jos Sterkens. While van der Heijden's not able to close on the Escort, he might come under pressure from Sterkens. Oh, little mistake though from Sterkens, and that gives van der Heijden yet another little respite. Jos Sterkens looking off the pace on this final lap. Checker flag is out. It is victory for Steve Folders, second for Philip van der Heijden, and Jos Sterkens will be some way back in third position. But Folders wins once again. Secret? No secret, says Steve Folders. All I think is every time you've just got to have a good start, especially on this circuit. Really important to have a good start because there's short tarmac strip, so you very quickly lose grip. So no real secret to it. Well, it's another win for Steve Folders, second place for Philip van der Heijden, and a slightly disappointed Jos Sterkens round out the podium in third place ahead of Herman van Thielen. Plenty of local interest for the Lithuanian fans in the Super 1600 category. Two home drivers in the field, and both with a great chance. Number 16 there, the Volkswagen Polo of Anastas Staponkas. There is the 14-year-old sensation of Hungary, Sami Trogan, the Finnish driver who won last time out. Number 14 on the front row, Rainis Safonovs in another Volkswagen Polo. He's from Latvia. Kasparas Navikas in the Skoda Fabia. Also going very strongly, number 17 machine of the local Lithuanian driver. And the youngster from Finland, just 14 years old, proving that Hungary was no fluke, right in the mix. Marcel Succi, on the other hand, in his Peugeot 206, struggling to match the front-running pace. Latvia's Edis Os in his Peugeot failed to make it through with mechanical problems. Staponkas, the fastest man. And the locals with their boy on pole position. Sami Trogan in the centre of the front row in the orange and black Twingo. And Kasparas Navikas in the dark blue Skoda Fabia on the outside, a demon starter behind. Josef Suster in his Skoda Fabia. Number 14, Rainis Safonovs. And number 10, Marcel Succi in the Peugeot 206. Ready to go then for the final in the Super 1600s. Oh, almost a jump start there from Sami Trogan in the middle of the front row. So which of the Lithuanians is going to take the lead? It is the dark blue Skoda. Kasparas Navikas, the outside line, paying off well. Sami getting sandwiched between the two, Skoda and Volkswagen, and pushing his way through is Anastas Staponkas. He takes the lead. Sami Trogan up into second place, and fast starting Kasparas Navikas down to third. So it is the Polo out front, Anastas Staponkas, Sami Trogan in the orange and black machine, then number 17, Kasparas Navikas, and they are leaving the rest trailing in their wake. Great action right from the start here, and Navikas has gone on to the Joker lap, and that will bring the Czech Josef Suster's Skoda Fabia up into third place. So it's still a Skoda in third. There is Navikas, and going in early may well pay off for him as the leaders battle out front. Lithuania versus Finland. Anastas Staponkas with the lead in the Volkswagen Polo, also going in early for his Joker lap, Rainis Safonovs. And Marcel Succi has done his as well. Sami Trogan dives in for his Joker lap, out of second place for the young Finn. And he's not alone. There is Josef Suster as well. Marcel Succi a little lonely on his own in the Peugeot. And here is the battle then for second place. Navikas back in front of Suster, the two Skodas, third and fourth. But it is Sami Trogan in second place, and the leader, Anastas Staponkas, Still has to do his joker lap. Looks like he's going to build his lead as much as possible and then go in late on. Everybody else now has completed their joker laps. Josef Suster tailing away from the lead trio. There you can see the battle for second place in front of him. So Stepankus stays out front, but when will the Lithuanian come in? He knows the track really well, clearly has a great feel for conditions through qualifying. And Ernesto Stepankus coming in now. No, leaves it till the last lap. Sami-Matti Trojan very sideways. Can't afford any mistakes though. There are 4 cars close behind. Out front still Stepankus. Is that a big enough lead though to take the joker lap? He has to go on the final lap or he'll be disqualified. So they know that they must press on as hard as possible. That's exactly what Stepankus will be doing. And Ernesto Stepankus comes onto the joker lap now. Has he built enough of a lead? Can he get through here cleanly? It's loose, it's twisty, and he comes out just in front of Sami-Matti Trojan. The checkered flag awaits, and Trojan pushes him to the line. What a finish, an amazing home win for Ernesto Stepankus. Well, race wasn't easy, says Ernestas. We started with a 10-second penalty from the organisers, so gradually we had to make that time back up through the 4 heats in qualifying. So we were fast in the qualifying heats, and in the final we showed again that we've got great pace. So of course, finally, really happy with first position. It wasn't easy, but delighted. A home win then for Ernesto Stepankus, our 3rd different winner in Super 1600 in 3 rounds of Rallycross Challenge Europe so far. The supercars are the 600 horsepower 4-wheel drive monsters of Rallycross Challenge Europe, and joining the field this weekend, some entrants from the Polish Championship as well. So it's a bumper crop of supercars that take to the grid. And this gives an indication of just how tense things are. Problem with the start, nobody penalised for that jump start though. Mark Flaherty showing great speed in the Ford Focus, the British driver. Susu from Hungary also in a Ford Focus. Didn't have a great time at home, but looking very strong here. Mandy August in the Audi A3, winner in Hungary, the points leader. Mark Tikabar in his Ford Fiesta, the Estonian, had problems with the turbo, had to fix it overnight. Susu ended up fastest in qualifying, ahead of points leader Mandy August. Susu on pole position for the supercar final then. Mandy August, the points leader in the centre in the Audi A3. Mark Flaherty having a really good run through qualifying outside the front row in the Ford Focus. And as the entertainment builds up, Mark Tikabar in the Ford Fiesta, Sarunas Glikas in the Mitsubishi Lancer on row 2 of the grid, and Oleg Grishin in the Skoda Fabia, the Russian, the last man on the grid, does not get away quickly. Race down to the first corner. Mandy August in second place. As we see from Mark Flaherty's camera, he gets shoved down to 4th position. Really good start from Susu from pole. He's got a couple of car lengths on everybody else. Mandy August in second. Mark Tikabar, the Estonian's red Ford Fiesta, in 3rd. Well, what a dramatic start to the final. Susu leads, Mandy August in second place, 3rd Mark Tikabar, and Glikas, yes, he's coming on to the joker lap. Oh, Flaherty made a late decision to follow him as well, and that didn't go very well for Mark Flaherty. Mitsubishi Lancer of Sarunas Glikas looked to be going okay. Oleg Grishin up to 4th place in his Skoda meanwhile. So the top 4 have yet to take their joker lap. Out front, Susu pulling it away. Mark Tikabar trying to close in on Mandy August in the Audi. And there is Oleg Grishin. He's already been caught by the Mitsubishi Lancer of Sarunas Glikas. But I think Mark Flaherty is struggling in his focus, and that's a shame. 3rd after qualifying, but he's down to 6th position at the moment. Mandy August losing ground at the moment on Susu. Oleg Grishin struggling a little for grip. There is your leader. Looks like the Hungarian is going to stay out front all the way. And That is often the case. If you're in the lead, you try and leave your joker lap to the absolute last minute. Never give up track position if you can avoid it. Sarunas Klikas had to try something from behind. And at the moment, he is still chasing the lead trio. Mark Tikabar in third position in the Ford Fiesta. Here's Oleg Grishin, the Skoda, is losing pace even more, it seems. Mark Flaherty seems to have picked up his speed, though. Not sure the engine sounds entirely healthy, but he's trying to close in on Klikas. Mandy August still in second place, ahead of Mark Tikabar, who's desperate for a podium to reward the team for the all-nighter, changing his turbo on board with the German lady. And Susu's Ford Focus is still out front. She can see him through every corner. Now she sees him dive onto the joker lap. Nice smooth run through, keeping up that momentum. That's so critical here in this track in Lithuania. Mandy August has the lead for the moment then, but she still owes us a joker lap. So she will now have to desperately try and build some advantage. If she can take victory, or even if she doesn't, if she finishes second to Susu, she will still hold the points lead. So the Hungarian has her in his sights. And Mandy August now comes onto the joker lap. This needs to be absolutely phenomenal to try and stay in front, but I don't think she had enough of a lead. And as she comes out, there is the Hungarian. The Ford Focus is in the lead. Susu back in front. Mandy August had the lead momentarily. Mark Flaherty, a lonely fifth, does not have the pace that he had in the qualifying heats, but Susu does. The Hungarian is in front. Mandy August giving it everything in second position as the battle for third really comes alive now. Mark Tikabar ahead of Sarunas Klikas. Estonia versus Lithuania. And it is going to be Hungary beating Germany to the checkered flag. Susu claiming victory here. Mandy August in second place to keep her Supercar Championship title on track. And in third position, Mark Tikabar of Estonia will just pip Sarunas Klikas of Lithuania for the final podium spot. There is nothing in it as they get to the flag.
I'm really happy that I made to the finals because we had problems with turbo, and last night we changed it. So I'm really happy.
And so it seems, breaking loose with the champagne, Mandy August in second and Susu from Hungary, our race winner in the supercars. Ten points separate the top three in Super Touring Cars Minors, but next time Yves Thielen will be back to compete with his rivals. Steve Holders still holds the lead in Super Touring Cars Plus. It's going to take a lot to unseat him. Fourth place here for Josef Suster, but he's still leading the standings in Super 1600. While Mandy August leads in the supercars, still ahead of Susu, Mark Flaherty and Mark Tikabar. Well, that's it from Lithuania. Join us in a month for the double-header in Belgium and the Netherlands.